Good evening, beautiful souls. Today, I want to talk about something raw, something real, and something we've all felt at one time or another: betrayal. Yes, we live in a world where not everyone has the same heart as you, and it's not your fault if someone you trusted turned out to be fake. What's important is that you rise above it. Let me start by saying this: life will show you who people are, and when it does, believe them. We all want to see the best in people. We crave connection, love, and trust. But the hard truth is that not everyone is genuine. Some wear masks and their smiles hide daggers, but that's okay. Why? Because every challenge, including fake people, is a lesson to strengthen you. I'm not telling you to walk around in paranoia. No, no, no. I'm saying you need to protect your peace. You need to guard your spirit, because not everyone deserves a seat at your table. And that's not being unkind, that's self-preservation. Trust your instincts. There's a voice deep inside of you. It whispers in moments of doubt. It nudges you when something doesn't feel right. That voice, it's your intuition. It's a gift. You were born with a divine compass guiding you through the maze of life. And yet, how often do we silence it? How often do we brush it off, thinking I'm just overthinking? Let me tell you something: your instincts are rarely wrong. They pick up on things your conscious mind can't see yet. It's that feeling when you meet someone and everything about them seems fine, but something inside you says, wait, watch. That's not paranoia, that's wisdom. We live in a world that teaches us to look outward for answers. We consult experts, friends, even strangers on the internet. But the most powerful answers are already within you. You just have to trust yourself enough to listen. When you don't trust your instincts, you give away your power. You let someone else's story override your own. But your gut, it's trying to protect you. It's trying to steer you away from harm and toward what's meant for you. Think about the times you ignored your instincts. What happened? Chances are you found yourself saying, I knew it. I should have listened to myself. That's not a mistake, that's a lesson. And lessons, my friends, are never wasted. Your instincts are not loud. They don't shout. They whisper. That's why you need to create stillness in your life. When you're constantly rushing, you miss those subtle nudges. When you're too busy doubting yourself, you drown out your inner wisdom. The key is to slow down, to tune in, to trust that your inner voice is there for a reason. It's not just a feeling, it's a knowing. And that knowing is your superpower. Trusting your instincts isn't just about protecting yourself from fake people. It's about aligning with your truth. It's about making choices that honor who you are. And when you do that, you'll find that life flows more smoothly. Sometimes your instincts will tell you to walk away, even when everything seems perfect on the surface. Trust that. Sometimes they'll tell you to give someone a chance, even when others doubt it. Trust that too. This is not about being cynical. It's about being wise. It's about recognizing that your heart and mind are in constant communication with something greater than yourself. So the next time you feel that nudge, don't second guess it. Don't explain it away. Lean into it. Trust that your instincts are guiding you toward what's real, what's good, and what's true. When you start living in tune with your instincts, you'll notice a shift. You'll feel more grounded, more confident, more at peace. You'll stop wasting energy on people and situations that aren't meant. And here's the beauty of it: the more you trust your instincts, the stronger they become. It's like a muscle. The more you use it, the more powerful it gets. This world is noisy and everyone has an opinion about what you should do, but your inner voice, that's the one voice you can always trust. Listen to it. Honor it. Let it lead you. Set boundaries. Boundaries are a form of self-love. When you set boundaries, you're not pushing people away. You're protecting the sacred space of your peace, your energy, and your heart. Yet, how often do we feel guilty for doing this? How often do we think if I say no, they'll be upset, or I don't want to seem selfish? Let me tell you this: setting boundaries is not selfish, it's necessary. Think about your energy as a precious resource. You wouldn't let just anyone walk into your home and take what they want, would you? So why do we allow people to trample over our emotional space? The truth is, boundaries teach people how to treat you. If you don't have them, you're essentially telling the world, do whatever you like, I'll adjust. But adjusting constantly is exhausting, isn't it? You can't keep pouring from an empty cup. Boundaries are not about shutting people out. They're about letting the right people in. When you establish clear boundaries, you're saying, this is how I need to be loved, respected, and treated. And guess what? The people who genuinely care about you will respect those boundaries. Now, setting boundaries isn't always easy. Some people won't like it, especially if they're used to taking advantage of your kindness. They may call you difficult. They may accuse you of changing. But let me tell you something, growth looks like change. And people who truly love you will celebrate your growth, not resist it. Start small. Maybe it's saying no to something you really don't want to do. Maybe it's carving out time for yourself, even when others demand your attention. Maybe it's finally telling someone, I can't keep giving without receiving. It takes courage to set boundaries, especially if you've been a people pleaser all your life. But every time you honor yourself in this way, you're reclaiming your power. You're saying, I matter. My needs matter. Boundaries are not barriers, they're bridges. They allow for healthier, more respectful relationships. When you set them, you're not only helping yourself, you're teaching others how to honor their own boundaries too. The beauty of boundaries is that they bring clarity. They show you who is willing to meet you where you are and who is only there for what they can take. They separate the real from the fake. You'll know you're setting boundaries when you feel a sense of relief, a sense of freedom. It might feel uncomfortable at first, but that discomfort is temporary. What lasts is the peace that comes from knowing you've protected your well-being. Remember, saying no doesn't make you a bad person. It makes you an honest one. Saying I can't doesn't mean you're weak. It means you're wise enough to recognize your limits. And here's the thing about boundaries, they're a form of self-respect. When you respect yourself, you're teaching others to do the same. And if they don't, well, that tells you everything you need to know. So don't be afraid to draw the line. Don't be afraid to say, this is where I end and you begin. It's not about shutting people out. It's about letting yourself in. The most loving relationships are built on mutual respect, and respect begins with boundaries. So honor yourself, protect your peace, and watch how your life transforms. Watch actions, not words. Let me tell you something powerful. People will always show you who they are through their actions. Words are easy to say. Promises can be made in the blink of an eye, but actions require intention, effort, and truth. That's where the real story lies. Think about the time someone told you what you wanted to hear. Maybe they promised loyalty, love, or support. Maybe their words were sugar-coated, wrapped in the prettiest bow. But then when the time came to show up, their actions told a very different story. Sound familiar? It's not your fault if you believe someone's words. We're wired to trust, to hope, to believe in the goodness of others. But the lesson here is not to rely on what people say. They may not mean it, or they may not have the capacity to live up to it. Words can be rehearsed. Actions, on the other hand, are raw and real. They show where a person's heart truly is. If someone tells you they care but consistently neglect you, believe their actions. If they promise you the world but never follow through, believe their lack of effort. This doesn't mean you should become cold or distrustful. It simply means you should observe. Take your time. Watch how people treat you, not just when things are easy, but when things get hard. True character is revealed in the tough moments, not the smooth ones. You deserve consistency. You deserve alignment between someone's words and their actions. And when those two don't match, it's not a reflection of your worth, it's a reflection of their truth. Sometimes we hold on to someone's potential instead of their reality. We think they'll change. They mean well. But potential doesn't create healthy relationships. Actions do. This is where discernment comes in. Discernment is your ability to see beyond the surface, to recognize what's real and what's not. It's a skill that grows stronger with experience, and it's one of your greatest tools in navigating life. When someone shows you through their actions that they are loyal, that they care, that they're there for you, celebrate that. Those are the people worth keeping close, but when their actions show otherwise, it's okay to let go. Letting go doesn't mean you're bitter or unforgiving. It means you're choosing to honor yourself. It means you're refusing to settle for less than what you deserve. Pay attention to patterns. One mistake doesn't define a person, but repeated actions do. If someone consistently shows you they don't value you, don't make excuses for them. Trust what they're showing you. And let me be clear, this isn't just about others. This is about you too. Are your own actions aligning with your words? Are you living in integrity with what you promise to yourself and others? because the most authentic relationships begin with self-accountability. When you start focusing on action, something incredible happens. You stop wasting time on false promises. You stop investing in people who aren't investing in you. You free yourself to attract relationships that are real, meaningful, and fulfilling. So let this be your mantra. I observe actions, not words. Let it guide you in love, friendship, and every connection you make, because actions don't lie. Value quality over quantity. In a world that glorifies more likes, more followers, more acquaintances, it's easy to forget the power of quality. But let me remind you of something. It's not about how many people you have in your life. It's about who truly matters. Think about this for a moment. You can have 1,000 people around you, but if not one of them genuinely cares, supports, or understands you, what do you really have? A crowd, not a connection. A noise, not a melody. We've been conditioned to believe that popularity equals value, that the more people we have in our circle, the more validated we are. But validation doesn't come from numbers, it comes from depth. And depth isn't found in quantity, it's found in quality. Take a moment to reflect on your closest relationships. Who are the people who truly see you? Who are the ones who've been there in your darkest moments, not just your brightest? Those are your people. That's your circle. And let me tell you, even if it's just one or two, it's enough. Quality relationships are rare because they require effort, honesty, and vulnerability. They require both parties to show up, not just when it's convenient, but when it's hard. They require mutual respect, not one-sided expectations. Now, this doesn't mean you have to cut off everyone who isn't deeply connected to you. There's room in life for casual friendships, acquaintances, and professional connections. But when it comes to the people you lean on, the people you share your dreams and fears with, choose wisely. Let's not confuse presence with loyalty. Just because someone is around doesn't mean they're truly there for you. True quality in a relationship is about what someone brings into your life: love, trust, kindness, and a safe space to be yourself. When you focus on quality over quantity, you stop chasing people who don't value you. You stop exhausting yourself trying to be everything for everyone. Instead, you start pouring into the relationships that pour back into you. There's a kind of peace that comes with this realization. You don't need everyone to like you. You don't need to be part of every group or invited to every event. Your worth isn't tied to how many people surround you. What matters is the authenticity of your connections. One true friend is worth more than 100 fair weather ones. One deep conversation can mean more than 1,000 empty exchanges. And let me tell you something, the right people will never make you feel like you're too much or not enough. They'll celebrate you for who you are, not who they want you to be. Quality relationships also challenge you to grow. They hold up a mirror showing you both your strengths and your blind spots. They encourage you to be better, not out of judgment, but out of love. Sometimes valuing quality means letting go. It means releasing relationships that no longer serve you, even if it's hard. It means understanding that not everyone who starts with you will finish with you. But here's the beauty of it. When you focus on quality, you create space. Space for new, meaningful connections. Space for people who align with your values and vision. Space for relationships that truly enrich your life. So stop chasing numbers. Stop measuring your worth by how many people are in your life. Instead, ask yourself, are the relationships I have bringing me joy, support, and growth? If the answer is yes, hold on to those connections tightly. If not, it's okay to let go and make room for better. Your life is too precious to fill with shallow connections. Choose quality, choose depth, and watch how much lighter and more fulfilled you feel. Learn from every experience. Life is a classroom, and every experience, whether joyful or painful, it makes a lesson. Now, I know what you might be thinking. How do I learn from betrayal, from heartbreak, from disappointment? But let me tell you this, the hardest lessons are often the ones that shape us the most. When someone betrays you, it's not just about the hurt they caused. It's about what that experience reveals to you. Maybe it teaches you to set firmer boundaries. Maybe it shows you the importance of trusting yourself. Maybe it's a reminder to not ignore red flags. Whatever it is, there's always a takeaway. It's easy to get stuck in the why me phase. Why did this person lie to me? Why did they let me down? Why did I have to go through this? But the real power lies in shifting that question to what is this teaching me? That's where growth begins. Every painful experience is like a mirror. It forces you to look inward, to examine your choices, your patterns, your instincts. It's not about blaming yourself, it's about empowering yourself. Because once you learn the lesson, you're less likely to repeat the mistake. Think about it. If you touch a hot stove, you learn not to touch it again. The same applies to life's emotional stoves. Betrayal, dishonesty, manipulation, they all burn. But they also teach you to recognize what's toxic, to avoid it, and to heal from it. Now, learning from experiences doesn't mean you won't feel the pain. Pain is part of the process. It's there to wake you up, to make you aware of what needs to change. But pain without reflection is just suffering. When you reflect, when you search for the lesson, you transform that pain into wisdom. Sometimes the lesson is about forgiveness, not for the other person, but for yourself. Forgiving yourself for trusting too quickly. Forgiving yourself for staying too long in a toxic relationship. Forgiving yourself for not knowing better until you did. And let me tell you something about wisdom. It's cumulative. Every lesson builds on the last. Every experience, no matter how small, adds to your strength, your discernment, your understanding of life. Learning doesn't happen overnight. Sometimes it takes weeks, months, even years to fully grasp the lesson in an experience. That's okay. Growth is not a race, it's a journey. One of the greatest lessons you can learn is to stop taking things personally. When someone hurts you, it's often a reflection of their own struggles, insecurities, or shortcomings. It's not about you, it's about them. But how you respond, that's entirely about you. So what do you do with these lessons? You use them to evolve, to grow stronger, to become wiser. You use them to set higher standards for yourself and the people you allow into your life. Learning from every experience also means being grateful for the good moments. Don't just focus on the pain. Celebrate the times when people showed up for you, when they loved you authentically, when they added value to your life. Those experiences teach you what to seek and cherish. Even the worst experiences can plant the seeds of something beautiful. They can lead to self-discovery, resilience, and a deeper understanding of who you are. They can inspire you to help others, to share your story, to be a light for someone going through a similar struggle. Learning is about balance. It's about holding space for both the hurt and the healing. It's about acknowledging what went wrong without letting it define you. It's about taking what you need from the experience and leaving the rest behind. So don't be afraid to look back, to revisit the moments that broke you. But when you do, look back with the intention to learn, not to linger. Because every experience is a stepping stone, not a destination. Life will keep giving you lessons until you learn them. That's not a punishment, it's an opportunity. An opportunity to grow into the person you're meant to be. And trust me, the stronger, wiser, more authentic version of you is worth every lesson learned. Keep your circle small. There's a quiet strength in keeping your circle small. In a world that often equates worth with how many people surround you, let me remind you, it's not the size of your circle that matters, it's the substance of the people in it. We live in a culture of excess, more friends, more followers, more connections, but how many of those people truly know you? How many truly have your back? There's a profound freedom in letting go of the need to be everywhere for everyone all the time. When your circle is small, it's manageable, it's authentic, it's intentional. You don't waste energy trying to please people who don't matter or chasing relationships that are one-sided. You focus on nurturing the connections that bring joy, growth, and meaning to your life. Small circles create space for depth. When you don't spread yourself too thin, you can show up fully for the people who truly matter. You can be present, attentive, and vulnerable. And in return, they show up for you in the same way. But let's be clear, keeping your circle small doesn't mean shutting people out. It means discerning who belongs in your inner world. Not everyone you meet is meant to stay. Some people are passing lessons and some are lifelong blessings. Know the difference. A small circle doesn't mean a perfect one. Even your closest relationships will have challenges. But the beauty of a small circle is that it's built on trust, loyalty, and mutual respect. These are the people who won't abandon you when things get tough. These are the people who will tell you the truth even when it's hard to hear. When you start to tighten your circle, you'll notice something amazing. The drama fades, the noise quiets. You stop worrying about what people think of you because the ones who matter already know your heart. It's not easy to downsize your circle, especially if you've been surrounded by a crowd for most of your life. But remember, not everyone clapping for you is cheering for you. Some people are there out of convenience, curiosity, or even envy. Keeping your circle small is an act of self-preservation. It's about protecting your peace, your energy, and your time. It's about knowing that not everyone deserves access to you. Your time is precious and your energy is sacred. Invest it wisely. Think of your circle as a garden. You don't need every kind of flower to make it beautiful. You just need the ones that thrive in your soil, the ones that bloom with care, the ones that grow with you. A small circle allows for accountability. These are the people who will hold you to your highest standards. They'll celebrate your wins, but they won't hesitate to call you out when you stray from your path. That's love. That's real. Don't let society's obsession with numbers fool you. Quality over quantity isn't just a saying, it's a lifestyle. Your small circle is your sanctuary. It's where you can be your truest self without fear of judgment or rejection. When your circle is small, you stop trying to prove yourself to people who don't matter. You stop seeking validation from those who can't see your worth. Instead, you pour your energy into the relationships that uplift you, inspire you, and make you better. And let me tell you this, the right people will never make you feel small for keeping your circle small. They'll understand that your focus is on depth, not breadth. They'll value the space you created for them because it's intentional and meaningful. So don't be afraid to tighten your circle. Let go of the people who drain you, who hurt you, who don't show up for you. Keep the ones who love you, challenge you, and grow with you. Your circle doesn't have to be big to be powerful. It just has to be real, because in the end, it's not about how many people you know, it's about how deeply you're connected to the ones who matter. Focus on self-growth. At the center of every journey, every relationship, and every dream is you. And if you're not growing, evolving, and becoming the best version of yourself, everything else in your life will feel stagnant or out of alignment. Focusing on self-growth isn't selfish, it's essential. Growth begins with self-awareness. Take a moment and ask yourself, who am I? What do I want? What are my strengths and what are my areas of improvement? These questions aren't easy, but they are necessary. Self-awareness is the foundation upon which self-growth is built. Let's be honest, growth is uncomfortable. It's not about staying in your comfort zone, doing the same things and expecting different results. It's about challenging yourself, stepping into the unknown, and sometimes facing your fears head on. Growth doesn't happen where it's easy, it happens where it's hard. One of the most powerful ways to grow is to embrace failure. Failure isn't the opposite of success, it's part of the process. Every setback, every mistake, every no is an opportunity to learn, to pivot, and to try again. The question is not, will I fail, but rather, what will I do when I fail? Self-growth also means letting go of comparison. Your journey is yours alone. Don't measure your progress by someone else's path. Celebrate your unique timeline. What's meant for you will find you when you're ready for it. Investing in yourself is one of the greatest acts of love. Read the books that challenge your thinking. Take the courses that ignite your passion. Surround yourself with people who inspire and uplift you. And most importantly, give yourself the time and space to reflect, to heal, and to grow. Growth requires accountability. Be honest with yourself about what's holding you back. Maybe it's a limiting belief, a toxic relationship, or a fear of failure. Whatever it is, face it. You can't grow if you're unwilling to confront what's keeping you stuck. Self-growth isn't about perfection, it's about progress. Celebrate every small victory along the way. Did you set a boundary today? That's growth. Did you try something new, even if it scared you? That's growth. Did you take a moment to rest and recharge because you needed it? That's growth too. As you grow, you'll notice changes in your relationships. Some people won't understand the new you. They might resist your growth because it challenges their comfort. That's okay. Not everyone is meant to grow with you. Focus on those who support your journey, not those who hold you back. The truth is, growth is a lifelong process. There's no finish line, no moment where you'll say, I've arrived. And that's the beauty of it. Every day is an opportunity to learn something new, to improve, to evolve.